Dr. Kelli, can you introducing one more time yourself to my social media, simainside.com? Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Kelli Ward. I am a military wife. I'm the mom of 3 awesome kids. I am a family physician who works in the emergency department in Kingman, Arizona, former Arizona State Senator, and I happen to be running for the United States Senate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's say first pack, those have all, hello, good to see you, have all come together to endorse me in my endeavor to change Washington. I think the Brexit today, you know, is pretty good. I don't know how you all felt about England leaving, but I did. It was about sovereignty, their nation's sovereignty. It was about immigration into their country and standing up against the big guys. They didn't want a huge centralized government in Brussels telling them that they couldn't have their hair dryers, they couldn't have their tea kettle, they couldn't have their toasters. Those things become appalling. And I think that in the United States we feel that same way. You know, government, get out of our lives. Go back and do the things you were enumerated to do as a federal government and let us live freely. Let us exercise our rights, knowing that it's hand in hand with responsibilities. And I think that the country would be going a lot better way. Now, of course, somebody on Twitter, we posted a statement about the Brexit today, and someone said, make exit, because I said McCain's next, so they said make exit, and I was like, all right, somebody said with cheese, but I think that we are definitely going to see a exit in August. I hope so too. I hope so too.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Don't know if you can answer it, or if anybody could. I've known people endorsed and voted for them that went to the Senate with pure motives, just like you, when they got there, and boy, everything just took them down. And now, next thing you know, they're compromising. How are you going to not?
Yes. Well, and I tell everybody, you know, I don't think you should trust anyone. I think you have to hold people's feet to the fire. I will tell you that I've got a few things that make me a little bit different. Number one, I think I've got an immunization against lobbyists. As a physician, I have been dealing with my own lobbyists throughout my whole life. Your son, right? Your daughter that's pulling on, I'm sure knows, because drug reps come in, pharmaceutical representatives, and they're very similar to lobbyists, I'll tell you, because they're beautiful people. They've got some great information, but they want to sell you something. And so throughout my career, I learned how to deal with that kind of an entity. So when I got to the Arizona State Senate, and there were beautiful people with some good information who wanted to sell me something called lobbyists, I was able to discern where's the good, where's the bad, where's the sales pitch, and how do I incorporate this with the people I represent. So there's that. And also my time in the Arizona State Senate and my record in the Arizona State Senate is one of standing up for the people that I represent. I was served under 2 Republican governors, and I had to oppose Jan Brewer on some things that were bad. Medicaid expansion and Common Core are the 2 biggies that are out there. 2 biggies that are pushed by the Arizona Chamber of Commerce that she somehow got wrapped around with to push on the people of Arizona. With Governor Ducey, you know, I was the chairman of the Education Committee, and he brought me some nominees to the State Board of Education that I did not think were acceptable because they were pro-Common Core. And so I refused to hear those nominees, and I got a lot of pressure from the governor and from the executive branch, but I held firm against that because, again, I don't want a political career. And so if you don't want a political career and you don't care if you go back to that office, you are free to actually serve the people who elected you to do a job. I think another thing is that I did step down from my office. I stepped down in December, not because I had to by law, but because I wanted the people in Mojave and La Paz County to have a full component of representation in Phoenix. I didn't want them to be shortchanged as I was running for the United States Senate. I've seen way too many politicians, including John McCain, who have run for another office and have shortchanged the people they're supposed to serve. The 2 times he ran, Arizona was shortchanged. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe him not being there might have been better. I don't know. But I didn't think that holding on to the title and the office and the great parking space, there is a good parking space when you're in the Arizona legislature. You're right there by the building. That's not fair to the people that I represent. So all of those things combined should tell you that I'm going to go to Washington and I'm going to do what I say. I'm not going to allow the special interests to put their thumb on my head, because the only way they can do that is if you show a defect in your armor. So if and I simply am not going to do it. We've seen it. Look at Marco Rubio again. I'm talking about Marco. He got under the wrong wing. He got under the wing of John McCain and went to the Gang of Eight amnesty bill, and I think that killed him in his chances to become the president. Look at Jeff Flake. I mean, he was sold to. Don't look at him.
Rubio?
He was sold to us as a conservative, as somebody who was going to stand up for liberty and freedom, and he got under the wrong wing. And so I'm not planning to get under the wing of somebody like John McCain. If I was under anybody's wing, I would like to be under the wing of Ted Cruz and Mike Lee and Rand Paul. They are people who are of the same generation as me, who went to Washington, D.C. and were not afraid to stand up against the big guys, against the senior senators, who I'm sure told them to sit down and shut up, because I've heard that you can't get anything done until you've been there at least 10 years. Well, they broke. Right. Yeah. Well, that's on the House side. Yeah, they just sit on the floor and suck their thumbs on the Democrat side. I don't know. But I want to learn from them as long as they're going the right way. My job as a United States Senator is to make sure that what we are doing is constitutional. That's from the president on down to everyone else. And no one's been holding this president accountable to constitutional duties and powers. So whoever our next president is, which I will tell you I'm supporting Trump, he's the nominee. I think is going to do a great job. He's done some, he says very conservative things that I agree with. Secure the border, make sure we have the strongest military in the world, get the economy going again. All of those things I look forward to working with him on. But if he tries to go an unconstitutional way, then I will be there to be that thorn in his side and say, no, 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 that can't happen.
If I am Trump, I will pick up you for vice president now. You know?
So funny.
No, that's...
Thank you.
For sure, okay? Common sense, okay? Common sense.
Common sense.
And you know what happened today in Europe? You know my story, okay? I met you on a rally. I not even know who are you. I just come with my social media, and I saw beautiful lady in blue jacket, and I asked her, can you tell me a couple words about Mr. Trump? So she is already on my web page, and I have message to Trump. Okay, you know what happened today in Europe.
Yes,
you know, Great Britain stepped down from European Union. Common sense. And I am political refugee to America under Reagan administration from Poland, okay, to Great America, and I endorse her from first look. And you know why? You know why? Common sense, educated, beautiful woman. And Mr. Trump, I know he's going to reach my movie, okay? Because I spoke to him, he told me, I like your accent, of course. So, Mr. Trump, if I am you, pick up Dr. Kelli for vice president, so Clinton will be dead today.
Yes, we can't have Hillary. That is 100% sure.
I did, but you asked. Okay. I wanted to know who you were aligned with in the Senate.
Yes.
That had the most what you were doing, and if you were going to support Trump.
Yes. There you go. Yeah. Say again?
Do you like Sheriff?
I do. I like Sheriff Joe. You know, I like Sheriff Joe a lot. I heard he might be going to have a fundraiser with one of the other people that's running, but apparently he's not coming to that because he was feeling. Well, no, not Sheriff, not because his wife's ill, because he was being used by that other campaign against his will. So I heard that he's not going to that. So, questions? Anyone?
What's your religious affiliation?
I go to Calvary Baptist Church in Lake Havasu. I'm Baptist. I grew up Methodist, and I love the Methodist Church, but I just think the Baptist has the right rules and the right biblical base for me. We were considering where we were going to put our kids in school, actually, whenever they were starting school, and Calvary Baptist Church was starting, Calvary Christian Academy, And so I went to see what the doctrine was, and if they were going to brainwash my kids about something that I didn't believe. But I could tell you that the first time that I walked into the church, I just felt like it was a big hug from there. And I still get that now 15 or more years later that we've been there. It's a wonderful place, great worship music, great message, great community outreach, because we don't just preach about being Christians. We actually go out and do work in the community to show the love that Christians have for the community. My mom was funny because she said, there she is back there, that's my mom. Hi, Mom. She said, you know, everyone can tell you're a Christian. How? Because you don't go around saying, hey, I'm a Christian, hey, I'm a Christian, hey, I'm a Christian. I said, well, the Bible says they're supposed to know you're a Christian by your love. And so I hope that that's what I emanate. That's how I try to live my life. And that's how I plan to always do it. You know, because that's what's important. That's what the Bible tells us to do. So.
And when's the primary?
August 30th. I will tell you this. Okay, who's seen the attack ads? You know, I'll have to address those. Attack.
Burn them.
All right, burn them. Yes, exactly. But there's a lot of attack ads. They're on television, especially on Fox News. So if you don't watch Fox News, you may not see them. But they'll probably be on other channels eventually. He's sent out mailings to mailboxes, at least 5. There might be 6 by now. Radio ads that say, I don't support the bill. Have you guys heard that one? It's on there.
Support the bill.
Support the bill.
Don't support the bill.
Yes, exactly. The bill I didn't support. That's what they said. And she didn't support the bill she didn't support. But that was one of the bills that I never had a chance to vote on. It was the NDAA. It was the NDAA that had, for the first time, indefinite detention of American citizens without due process. And I still don't support that. I wouldn't support that. It's not constitutional. That has to get out of that bill. And then there are also, of course, web ads. My daughter is so funny. One of her sorority sisters sent her a message and said, I was watching a YouTube tutorial about how to put on makeup, a certain makeup technique, and all of a sudden the screen went dark, and here comes the ISIS flag and your mom. You know, and I couldn't turn it off. It was so creepy that it couldn't turn it off. And so they're spending millions of dollars. They've spent over $1 million already between John McCain's own campaign and the Arizona Grassroots Action PAC, which has nothing really to do with Arizona or grassroots. They're funded mostly out of Washington, D.C. Their biggest donors are actually a couple that are also Obama donors. And so they have an interest in keeping Washington the way it is. So they're out there, they're spending that money, and so we just, whenever we see them, we just have to say, woohoo, there's our commercial again. You know, because it's getting our name identification up. I think it's clear that that I support our military, that I didn't create ISIS. I mean, as a state senator, no. I do want us to get the information to stop terrorism. Of course I do. Of course I want the police to be able to get the information that they need to prosecute criminals. All I ask is that we do it within the means of the Constitution, and that means get a warrant. So if you have suspicion, get a warrant. That's all it takes. It's not something that's so difficult to do that it can't be done in the name of safety. And you know that Benjamin Franklin said, if we're willing to sacrifice our liberty, our freedom, for some security, then we deserve neither. We deserve neither, and we'll have neither. Once our privacy is gone, I mean, we give up so much already. Willingly, we give it up. Once it's gone, it's going to be gone, and then we can't be secure because we won't have our constitutional principles to keep us safe. So I thank you guys. I hope you will spread the word and tell people that those attack ads are fake, that those attack ads are lies, that the money that's being spent isn't going to buy this election. It's not going to scare people into keeping things the way they are, because the way things are right now are not the way I want to see things. I want to see us take a sharp right turn and put this country on the right path. So you can help me by joining me on social media. Kelli Ward AZ on Twitter, Kelli Ward for Arizona on Facebook. Remember, it's Kelli with an I, because I care about the people, and I am going to be a conservative champion for Arizona and Washington, D.C. You can also sign up on the website, kelliward.com. Sign up to volunteer, sign up to get a sign, sign up to find out when events are happening. get that information in there so we can send you emails that you can read, of course, but that you can send out to your list as well. On that website, there's going to be a clicky box on the front page that says facts versus attacks. And so there, if people have questions about those attack ads, they can click and you can send them there so that they can get all the answers in one place. Donate money. Something as low as $3 can buy one of these yard signs. These yard signs, if you put them up in your yard, now if you leave them in your garage, they don't do any good. But if you put them up in your yard, they usually equate to about 10 votes from people who live around you. So we need those. And so, you know, take a yard sign, but if you have $3, put 3. Yeah, I got that down pat, right? Say again, Mom?
Your polling results, can you tell me everything?
Polling looks great. I'm not sure if you guys have seen the latest polls. There was a poll done a couple of weeks ago now showing that in a head-to-head matchup, I'm at 41% and John McCain's at 41%. That is probably why the intensity of the attacks has become greater. There was also a poll that came out about a week ago now, and only one question was asked. John McCain versus Ann Kirkpatrick, the Democrat, the one that votes nearly 100% of the time with Barack Obama. The one who came home, who gave us Obamacare, she helped to give us Obamacare, came home to her constituents and was asked, why did you shove that down our throats? And she couldn't stand the heat, so she got out of the kitchen and left her constituents sitting there high and dry, refused to ask questions. Has been in parades up in her neck of the woods, over in the northeastern part of the state, flying the Mexican flag rather than the American flag. Those things are unacceptable. But we've got this lady that's radical, left, liberal against John McCain, and she actually beat him by 2 points in that poll. So as Republicans, we should be looking, who is going to be down ballot from Donald Trump? Who is going to be on that ticket? Who can keep that seat in the Republican hands and actually make it into a constitutional conservative seat, other than what we have right now? I'll tell you clearly, it's me. John McCain is known to be one of the most, if not the most vulnerable senator down ballot from Donald Trump. Because people who want Donald Trump don't want John McCain.
Of course, and
so that's why we've got to have the right person.
And I tell you, because I was late, because I watched CNN, the news from Europe really boosts right now Mr. Trump and you too.
Yes, right.
All this news is about Brexit yes. are against them. And right now CNN, I was late because I watched CNN to last minute. Yes. The CNN right now try to spin off this information against to Trump like this, but no way. No way. This is heavy ammunition, and they not not going to spin off this information because was voted by the people, okay?
Well, just yesterday, I thought it was interesting to watch because if you were watching, there was a big Supreme Court decision about immigration yesterday that shot down Obama's executive amnesty. And instead of focusing a lot on that, where I thought it should have been the top story, they had a non-shooting in Germany that they had on as breaking news that right. And there was a guy in the theater who had a gun. The only one that got shot was him. But they were playing that when they should have been saying, hey, we're taking our country back. We don't have a king. We aren't going to allow Obama to do these things. Of course, then he got on TV and basically said, well, I'm still going to do whatever I want. And so that's why we've got to have a new commander-in-chief, and we've got to have great conservative reinforcements for him to do the job that has to be.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Never happen again.
True. So thank you all so much for coming. I appreciate it very much. It's great to see you. Keep in touch with me. Let's win. God's win.
We win.